don't know what percentage you put on it, but being back and being in a regular rotation and playing a good number of snaps.
It's good. It's good. I mean, for me, like I said before, the biggest thing for me was always just getting into a position where I'd be able to be myself, or at least as close to myself as I can be. And I think that earlier in the season, as I got back out there, it started to get better throughout the season. I think I'm in a good place right now.
I think, I forget who it was described you. I think it was Rossi described you as a backer now. Did you accept that as being probably a proud DB at one point?
I mean, yeah, it's positions are positions. I used to always say I just play ball, but I mean that's what it is. And I mean, if you look at guys in the NFL, that's what they are. They're all just ball players. And you put them in any positions, they can make plays. That's what I've always wanted to do, no matter what position it's been at, whether it's been at linebacker, or safety, or nickel, whatever it is. Go out there and make plays. And I feel like I've been able to do that this year, and that's all the game's about, really.
How different do you, having gone through all you have, how different do you take the moments on the field? Do you approach them differently? Do you think of it differently in terms of being present, just thinking about the moment? Is there anything because of what you've gone through that forces you to approach things differently?
I think I'm going a little spiel right here because that's a good question. It's a good question. So I talk to my dad every day. That's the guy that I look up to, always have. And ever since Coach Smith came here and I decided to come back here, every word or every conversation I've had with my dad, one word's been at the forefront of every conversation, and that's opportunity. For me personally, I mean, obviously, there's times where I felt like I didn't get the amount of opportunities that I wanted for different reasons. A lot of reasons that are out of my control, with injuries and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's never been about the amount of opportunities I've got. It's about what I do with the opportunities I get. And that's how I've kind of approached this season and really every single play, every single practice, everything I've done. It's about what I do with the opportunities I have. So when I get the opportunity to go out there and play, what do I do with that opportunity, that play, and then give the best that I can. And then that really, for me, doing that has made me a better player. It's made me a better person. And I'm allowed to, it puts me in a position where people who have to unfortunately go through the things that I went through, I'm able to be like a helping figure to those people.
You say talking to you, like how much of that advice was from your dad? Where did that, within those conversations, when you arrive on that, how did that happen?
About opportunity?
Yeah.
Pretty much anytime we talk about ball. I mean, like it's not just in my case. We could be talking about the World Series, and it's like you talk about a guy like Aaron Judge. Obviously, he's not hitting well, but he got an opportunity to go out there. He has an opportunity to go out there and get an at bat. And at the end of the game, obviously the game's a little out of hand, but he gets to hit at the end of the game. And that happened in the conference championship. And the next game, he hit a home run. So I mean, it's about what you do with opportunities at hand. You could be playing bad, you could be playing great. What are you doing with this play? And I think that my dad has always talked about capitalizing on opportunities you get, and that's just what it comes to.
Staying with the growth idea, you said talk about becoming a better person. What does that look like on the field and off the field?
So I think in my time here, I've matured as a person. And maturing as a person obviously reflects on the field, but it does off the field too. I mean, I'm a little childish in terms of how I act, but it's about the mature decisions that I've started to make. It's about knowing how to take care of my body and knowing how important it is to take care of my body, knowing to eat the right things. I'm not going to say I always eat the right things. People who know me know I don't always eat the right things, but knowing what to eat, when to eat, things like that, just being more conscious of everything that you're doing because it all has an effect. And I'd say that really just having that in my mind, just in everything I'm doing, just knowing that what I do now can affect what happens later, has definitely changed.
How does it feel when you realize that you're changing and doing the things that you probably struggled with before?
It feels like I'm old.
Mature.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, great, thank you.
How different is the challenge this week with their offense compared to the last two you guys have seen?
They spread it out more, obviously. They're a different kind of offense. I think last week they really wanted to establish the run, and then obviously that led to other things. But I mean, this week they used the run, but they kind of mixed it in with everything. It's not. I wouldn't say they try to run it to open up the offense. But I mean, they can run well. I mean, they have a really good team. They're undefeated for a reason. But I mean, it's a great challenge. And like I said before, it's a great opportunity for us.
How have you guys, as a defense, gotten back to playing the run like we saw early in the season? Things have dropped off a little bit there. You play some good teams, but these last 2 weeks, you guys have been really good again. How'd you guys playing the run like we saw early in the season? Things have dropped off a little bit play some good teams. But these last 2 weeks, you guys have been really good again. How'd you guys get that back?
I think we just, I mean, it's the way the game goes. You have ups, you have downs. I think we had, like you said, we played some great teams, and I mean, it wasn't our day, but you know, we got to work and just made it a point of emphasis, and I think we've done well with it.
Where you're at right now, you know, what is the next step for you, you think, and what have you been really pleased with so far?
For me this season?
Yeah, just for, you know, fitting into a new scheme and all that.
I mean, like I told y'all before, I was playing like that Sam position, and I think I've done well with this position. It allows me to be able to play in the box and out the box, but more so out of the box, which I'm more comfortable with. And I mean, at the same time, I've been able to essentially do what I'm best at, and that's playing in space. I've done well in space, no matter who's in front of me. And I think that Coach Rossi's done a good job of putting me in the positions to where I'm best at, which I've said before.
Been having fun on special teams. Seems like you've been getting after it.
Yeah. So I'll admit, my sophomore year, I saw special teams as something that was like something the team needed, but I didn't really see the importance of how it could like really help me. Special teams as something that was like something the team needed, but I didn't really see the importance of how it could like really help me. Because like obviously you want to help the team out, but like it's a big part of football. And I mean, I was like, yeah, it's big, but like as I got older, I'm like, yeah, this is really big. I've seen games we won or lost on special teams. So I mean, in terms of every single teams that I'm on, I just try to make an impact, not just for myself, but for the entire team, and then try to help how I can.
That makes you sound old.
That makes me sound older? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about?
Special teams, the
See what I'm talking
kicking
about?
game. So
Nah.
Kickoff, punt.
I'm on everything except return. I'm a 2 on return.
Okay.
Kickoff return, excuse me.
Gotcha. So you're on
Punt return, punt, kickoff, punt, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You picked up another degree since we talked to you last, or?
Yes, I'm getting my third in a couple months. I'm taking my last class right now. Doing well. 4.0. We're on the road for it.
Congratulations.
Master's in strategic communication. So I have a bachelor's in fine arts of graphic design, a graduate certificate in digital media, which is under the same master's, and then the master's of strategic communication.
What's it gonna be without, you know, how you guys gonna make up for not having Jordan for 2 quarters there, and how important is he, and who's gonna step up?
He's really important. He's really important. Obviously, I mean, you've seen the plays that he's made. He's not just a good football player, but he's a great leader. He's vocal. But I mean, just gonna have to play. I mean, we'll get him back in the second half, which is cool. But I mean, I have confidence in Jordan Hall. I mean, I think he's a great player. So I'm looking forward to challenge at him.
With you having been part of the Michigan rivalry for as long as you have, both on the field and from afar, was there anything that felt different this year, whether it be, you know, your team with all the turnover, or just how close the game was compared to the last 2 years? What felt different?
Well, I'd only played in 2 games before this game, and the last time I played there was no fans in the crowd, so I mean that was different. But I mean, it's a cool environment. Obviously, one we wish we could get back, but it's on to the next.
Your dad has had some experiences in basketball. Do you have any advice?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we don't like them; they don't like us. But I mean, that's how rivalry should be, you know. So he got to play the Fab Five when he was in college. So I mean, he's played some good talent. I've played some good talent too. So it's a good competition, good rivalries. That's what the game's about. Best thing about the game.
But you mentioned the 2020 game broke back. That's where you got on the field with special teams.
Yeah.
So after year one, you're done. It wasn't as
Nah.
special.
So I mean, like I said before, year one for me. Because I had a procedure leading into the season, and Coach Tucker basically said, I mean, we want to redshirt you, but it was a COVID. Usually, you get the COVID year back. And I was like, well, I want to play. He was like, well, we can play you here. So I was like, well, I'll get on the field and do what I can. So I mean, for me, like I said before, when I first started, when I was really the only way I could play, that was my way of getting on the field. And then as I've gotten older, it's not just the way of getting on the field. You know, it can change the game. So for me, like I said before, it's the opportunity to make a play, no matter where that's at. So whenever you're on the field, you have an opportunity to do something. So that's how I approach it. I should say. Excuse me.
Last one.
It's going to be important to get Indiana on schedule, right? Their offense a little bit.
Yes, that's a point of emphasis for us to knock them off schedule on first, second down. They're really good on third down. So I mean, the better we can do on first and second down helps us on third.